Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Wemby puts up 50. LeBron stat pads to a triple-double. And I called it the other day. If you listen to the video, when he got his, I think it was his second triple-double, I said LeBron is going to get a lot of triple-doubles this year. And look, all that it's exposing is how weak the league is. A 39, 40-year-old LeBron is getting triple-doubles. Okay? It's just showing how weak this era really is. This guy, something ain't right. This is what I'm going to say. And I don't know if anybody notices. Something is not right. Not only has this guy played all these seasons, right, and played in all these playoffs or play-ins in Olympics up to this point in his career, but he also played in last year's Olympics, or this year's Olympics, over the summer, playing damn near the entire game. They pretty much had to get him out of the game because, you know, he was stat padding in the Olympics, but they had to pull him out sometimes just to give other guys a couple seconds to enter the game, just to say they was on the just to say they was on the card or something. Like, it was ridiculous. But this guy plays more. Check this out. This guy is playing more minutes in the Olympics than Wemby, and we'll get to that. Wemby's minutes this year is 2 more minutes than last year. So you divide that between 4 quarters and see what you got. 2 more minutes than he played last year. Woo! Woo! A 20-year-old phenomenon. We'll talk about that later. But when LeBron James now is playing this season, in his 22nd season, how is that possible? Look, guys, we know this guy plays zero defense, right? And if he played any type of defense, it would be over. If he played any kind of defense, well, let's just say if the Lakers played defense on a high level, they would be a top 5 team in the West easily with the talent they got. Put their talent 1 through 5 or 1 through 7 against anybody's talent 1 through 7 in the West or the East. The problem is, like I told you before, that they're not top 5. Hell, they're not even top 8 if they're making the play-in, right? Or top 7. What was it? Top 8? It's ridiculous how they do this thing. They make the 7th and 8th seed go in the play-in. What kind of ish is that? It's stupid. All it should be, if you're doing a play-in tournament, right? All this should be is the guys on the bottom. It shouldn't be the guys on the 7th and 8th, because 7th and 8th always made the playoffs. No, it should be no more than 2 teams, and it should be 9 and 10. That's it. 9 and 10. You want to make it more than that? 9, 10, 11, 12. There you go. So, right, if the Lakers actually play defense, because these guys aren't old. Only guy that's old is LeBron. So guys were out here really playing defense on the Lakers. That would be a top 5 seed, right, in the West. The problem is, then it will make LeBron look bad because now he will be held accountable to play defense, right? The media would be like, ugh, wow, everybody's out here playing defense except for LeBron. So they can't have that, right? So they kind of, play more. Yes, they play defense, obviously, but I'm talking about to get to a top 5 position in the West. So what they do is they play this kind of lax defense all year, unless they have to win certain games, get into the play-in, win the in-season tournament. These are the only times they can really turn it up, right? And we see when they really turn it up, how good of a team they can be on offense and defense, right? So this is the reason why the Lakers can't play defense full throttle and be a top 5 team, is because of LeBron James. But even with that said, even if LeBron James isn't playing any defense, I don't care, folks. How is this guy still running the court in this run and gun pace in year 22? In year 22. In year 22. It's not possible. I know we like to lie to ourselves about life and about, I won't get into it, but things in life in general. That's how adults do. We tell our kids, hey, to grow up at a certain age, and then us adults don't want to grow up. And the fact is, we just want to move on and we just want to be happy, so we don't want to, face any truth. I see that with people every day, and that's why the world is like it is. It's a shithole. It's a fake world because nobody wants to face reality. So the reality of this is what LeBron James is doing is not physically possible without being on something. It's not possible. Now listen, here's what I'm going to tell you. To me, I think guys have always taken something to give them an advantage. Whether it's protein shakes, creatine, stuff like that. Am I saying LeBron is taking steroids? Now, it's alleged that he's not like taking steroids in the sense that, or what do you call them? I forget the other word. I'll think about it in a minute. But what he's doing is he's taking stuff to recover and build up his blood cells so he can stay playing. You guys already know, this is one of my biggest problems about, sports, especially the NBA. Why are these guys keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing on with their careers or after their careers to do all this stuff when they already have 100 million or tens of millions? I don't understand. If it was something like maybe you got hurt after like a couple years, you really didn't make no money in the NBA, maybe you was a 60s, 70s, 80 player, and some of the guys 90s players. If you was something like that and you really didn't make no money, and you could really look down at your earnings and you're like, damn, I only earned 10 million or I only earned 50 million in my career. Something like that, you know what I'm saying? Because of course we know what comes with that. You got to pay taxes and a manager and a lawyer and a talent agent, all this stuff you got to pay. So you're not going to get that $50 million, you know what I'm saying? But some of these guys who done made 200 million, 300 million and all this money, you just scratch your head how they're putting on makeup. And not just they made money from the NBA. Some of these guys made money from endorsements and whatever like that. But you just scratch your head how these guys can supposedly make all this money and now they're putting on makeup and reading from a teleprompter and stuff like that. And these new eras where they're making 60 million a year, 200 million in their career. They done made 300 million. What I'm saying is LeBron has made over $1 billion. What is the motivation to keep going? I don't understand. You're not catching Michael Jordan. For the most part, most people don't believe you're even in that top 5. A large percentage don't think you're in the top 10 because of the super team thing. Not once, but twice. And then 3 times you try to do it again. What is the motivation behind this guy? And he's keep playing. If he has $1 billion, not 100 million, not 200 million, not 300 million, $1 billion. And in fact, he made $1 billion off of losing. More money than Kobe, more money than Jordan. Well, not more money than Jordan, but more money than Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time in most people's eyes, and was a true winner, was a clutch player. Wow. Folks, I don't get it. Yeah, hit me. I just don't get it. And now he's got his son in here. This guy's getting $1 million or $2 million on these minimum contracts for what? What is I know that's a lot of money that you don't turn down. Yes. And these guys might not even pay taxes. Who knows? They might be, what do you call it? Funneling their money through, how do they do it? They funnel their money through, what are these called? Charities. They put their money through, so they don't have to pay taxes. They call charity a tax write-off. So they take that money and put it in somebody else's charity. And later they can get this money back. This is a whole scam. I'm not even going to talk about it because I'm not trying to make it seem like it's about LeBron or NBA players. This is just how the world works, folks. So what is this guy's motivation for really playing? If you have $1 billion, and I know people be like, oh man, what are you going to turn down 50 million per year? I guess not. So this guy is basically playing for the money, right? Because he didn't become an all-time great or with the all-time greats. When you talk about Brady, even Mahomes is going to be up there. Montana, Elway, these guys, I think Elway was like 2-2, but still, the guys broke even. Peyton Manning broke even in the damn Super Bowl. So you can't say he's a loser, right? And then when you talk about these guys who broke even, these are all-time great players at their position, right? Some of these guys really didn't have no weaknesses like LeBron James. This guy can't shoot the free throws, can't shoot mid-range, can't shoot the three, can't give you no paint work, turnover king, ain't got no bag. And what I tell you guys, I said this guy is trying to rewrite history as we know it, right? He's murdering all these threes, and he's going to try to do this and shoot about 38 to 48% as he goes out the door, right? So he can get his 3-point percentage maybe up to 36, right? He's at 34%. So to get that up to 36%, I think he would have to play for another 2 years. Well, this year and next year, and he would have to shoot 40% or something close to it, between 38 and 40 to get up to that 36%, right? To average that for his career. So what he's going to do, he's just going to, he's going to stop bull charging the lane as much, because he don't have that kind of energy. You already see he don't have too much energy for anything, except for shooting the ball, getting flat-footed rebounds, and getting these assists. An assist today is this: all you got to do, pass it to the guy. He can do whatever. It don't matter what he does after that. As long as he don't pass the ball to somebody else, you're going to get that assist if he makes that basket. That's crazy. You know who they did that for? LeBron James. LeBron James. They didn't do that for Magic. They didn't do that for Jason Kidd. They didn't do that for Chris Paul. They didn't do that for none of these other guys. For LeBron James. That's it. So it will be easy for him to get these triple doubles. Joker too now. Joker is living off of this. Easy for him to get his triple doubles in his 7 assists a game. All you got to do is have the ball in your hand the majority of the damn game. And guess what? As soon as you pass it to that guy and he shoots and he scores, it don't matter what he does when you pass the ball to him. You can dribble around 300 times. As long as he shoots it after that and scores, you're going to get the assist. They did this for LeBron James. Easy. Stats. That's all you want. That's all the NBA fans, they're showing their true colors. What is that? They only care about stats. So what does that mean? It means the NBA, the ratings are going down. And like Sports and Fitness Trends like to say, he's got all these followers on X. Why aren't they watching? How come his followers ain't watching? They're not watching the NBA. And that's something else I was thinking about, right? The viewership. I think the viewership, even though it has started to go down, of course, in the 2010s and the 2000s, but now it's ridiculous. But they took LeBron out of the East, or he took himself out of the East, of course. And more people live on the East Coast than they do the West Coast. So a lot of people aren't staying up to watch those games. They come on at 10 and 10:30 and stuff like that. Even when they play, sometimes Central Time or Mountain West, whatever it is, they play at like 9:30 or something like that. So their face to the league, LeBron James, since he went to the Lakers, the viewerships has went down because of that, I think. Because there's no East Coast face of the league. He's in the West. So nobody's staying up to watch really the Lakers games. I mean, not that they don't have any viewership. Yeah, they got viewership, but it would be more viewership for the NBA if LeBron would have stayed in the East. To me, it just would have. And I think that's where the NBA started to take a little spike too when Michael Jordan retired. Even when I lived in Chicago and I watched Michael Jordan play, even when I lived in Atlanta, I could still watch Michael Jordan play. He came on 2 different networks. I think it was like I forget what it's called. It was some sports channel, sports network or something like that. I forget what it was called. And then the Bulls played on WGN, which WGN, yeah. So you always got to see Michael Jordan play on the East Coast for the most part. But when he retired, you had no East Coast face of the league no more. It was the West Coast. It was pretty much Kobe, Shaq, and Tim Duncan and David Wright. Everything was like over there in the West. So they couldn't wait to get a guy like LeBron to come in and put them ratings back up. So look, sometimes we all know these triple doubles mean nothing, and good for him. But like we always say, and I will always say, he's getting rebounds against air. He's getting rebounds against the air. At best, the only person that can battle him for a rebound is his teammates. That's sad, folks. And he's not going to battle anybody for no offensive rebound. He's taking off. So yeah, we'll see about this. We talked about the in-season cup yesterday. Maybe I was wrong. Do they play a tournament game and then a regular season game, then a tournament game? I was looking at it again last night, and I'm not sure. You guys had to help me out. And I guess we're going to see in the coming days, but I thought that's what it was last year. And then when I looked at the schedule last night, it looks like they were playing teams in the group pool, but it's hard to determine because they're all in the West or all in the East. And then I seen, a team play a West team, and then they were playing an East team, so they were back up out of the in-season tournament group pool. So I don't know if that's true. Like I said, I almost lost it at the beginning of that video yesterday. If that's true that they play a tournament game, and then they play a regular season game, and then play a tournament game, then play a regular season game, then play a regular season game, and so on like that. If that's true, how does that make any sense? You got the mindset of drinking orange juice, but come to find out you're getting milk. You get the mindset of you're about to drink Coca-Cola, and somebody brings you a Diet Coke. So in reality, you got the mindset of you're playing a tournament game, right? That night, and then the next game you're playing a regular season game? Tell me it's not true. Is it true? This is true. I got to make a whole nother video on this. But that's what it seems like. So let's talk about Wemby. 50 points. I get it. Good. He's not the first one to do it at that age. Not the second, not the third, and not the fourth. Okay. 1 minute you guys want to use age. Next minute, Anthony Edwards, he young. LeBron was young. And then when they do something like incredible, man, look what he did at this age. Come on, man. This is a no-touch era. If he was putting up 50 points last year, 2 to 3 times, I would be like, homie, that's what you're supposed to do. Show them what you're all about. Show them you're dominant in this weak, soft, fake era. Okay? When we talk about Wilt Chamberlain, and when people criticize him for being this tall, his competition, what you're missing is this is what Wilt Chamberlain was supposed to be doing. He did what he was supposed to do. For him being that gifted and having those kind of skills, he did what he was supposed to do. He didn't go out there and get hurt. Oh, my knees. Oh, I'm just taller than everybody else. Everybody else has advantage because I'm short. So, it's going to hurt me to run back and forth at this pace. Wilt Chamberlain did what he was supposed to do. If you're dominant, if you're a great player, if you're an all-time great athlete, great player, that's what you're going to do. You're going to go out there and show these people your great abilities. Michael Jordan did what he was supposed to do. Magic Johnson did what he was supposed to. There's no excuses. If you're an all-time great with all-time great ability, there's no excuses. Oh, Michael Jordan played against plumbers. It don't matter who Mike played against. He could have went out there and did nothing and just played like these guys. He did what he was supposed to do. As an all-time great talent, an all-time great performer, he did what he was supposed to do. That's what you guys don't get. In all eras, a freak athlete or guys with greater skills than the rest are supposed to do what they're supposed to. We already know there's guys that never did what they were supposed to do in all kind of different sports, the NBA, the NFL, maybe MLB. They just never lived up to potential. We know this. Vince Carter, great dunker. We can go on for days. Nobody, okay, go win 5 dunk contests. But Vince Carter never had those kind of injuries like Grant Hill. Vince Carter didn't live up to his potential. I'm sorry. He just didn't. We can say that about a lot of guys, but I'm just saying Vince Carter because okay, he can dunk. I see all these highlights on social media. He didn't live up to potential. And when I talk about potential, there was never any, he never had a whole bunch of 40-point game, 50-point game, 60-point game, 70-point game, these clutch moments in the playoffs, never made it to the finals. He didn't do what he was supposed to do. He didn't live up to it. Those are the guys you criticize. You don't criticize guys like Wilt Chamberlain. He lived up to his potential. Everybody can't win. You're going to say John Stockton and Karl Malone and, all-time greats who never won didn't live up to their potential, even though they went to, they did have moments in the playoffs, went to the finals, holds records and all kind of stuff. But Vince Carter don't hold any kind of records. Vince Carter was getting beat by young LeBron. Him and Jason Kidd. There was no excuse for you to get beat by LeBron James in the playoffs again and again. Get out of here, bro. It's supposed to be the next Michael Jordan. LeBron was young in Cleveland the first time. So, again, Wemby. I'm not impressed. How long you think I've been watching the NBA? How many great players have I seen? When we seen these great players back in the 80s and 90s, it was just like second nature. We wasn't, they doing this. It's just what they did. We wasn't amazed like that no more. Maybe the first, second time we were like, oh, damn. But after that, it was routine. It was second nature. This is what they were supposed to do because that's them. That's it. That's it. You got the Jordan shoes. You got the Dominique poster. Whatever. The grandmama poster. But we wasn't going crazy every game. This is what these guys were supposed to do after they submitted their name. We seen this night in and night out. So for Wemby, he was supposed to be the biggest thing since LeBron James, as far as coming into the NBA at 7'4". And yes, he's a freak of nature, no doubt. And he put up 50 in this soft era. I'm glad for him. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. The problem is, for him to get that 50, I think he hit 6 threes. So that's, what is that? That's 36 points right there, right? It's a lot of threes. And I think he shot 12. And if I'm not mistaken, basically half of his shots this season, field goal attempts, have been from 3. Almost. He took 202. No. I want to say he took 204 field goal attempts, but 99 of them are 3-pointers. That's insane. Folks, that's insane. That's basically half. That's insane. I don't know. I don't know. I would have to look. How many games have they played? Like 10? Something like 10. So you're like 10, 11. Divide that 99 by 10, 11 games. That's, So what I'm saying is, this can't continue, right? Him scoring what he's scoring, it's going to go back down to scoring 21 points. It's going to go back down to scoring 16 points in a game. This isn't something that makes any kind of sense. The only thing that makes any kind of sense is, I think he's averaging let me see here. I don't want to say the wrong number. So for this This season, he's attempting 8.3 threes a game. And he's hitting 2.8. Last year, he averaged 5.5, hit 1.8. Last year, he shot 46% from the field. This year, he's shooting 47, folks. Last year, he averaged 21 points. This year, he's averaging 22. Last year, he averaged 3.6 blocks. This year, he's averaging 3.8 blocks. So last year, he played 71 games. Why? Can you give me at least 78 as a rookie? In this 82 games? This year, he has played 12 of 12. Check this out. Last year, he played 29 minutes. This year, he's playing 31 minutes. Why? Can somebody explain that to me? Let me see for comparison right here. I want to look at what is this? I hate when these things always do this. Oh, goodness. So that will be yesterday. I want to look at something real quick. I'm going to look at somebody else's minutes, and I'm going to flip out if this guy is playing more minutes this year than Wemby. I'm going to flip out in a minute. LeBron James is averaging 35 minutes a game. LeBron James is averaging 35 minutes a game. Wemby is averaging 31. How the hell is that possible? And this is what I mean, guys. Not only that, let me see, because I seen something else I wanted to talk about too. Wemby this year is attempting 17 field goals a game. That's it? That's it. Oh, this can't be. Who else would even come close? There's somebody else on this team that has to be at least getting the same amount of attempts or more than Wemby if he's only getting 17 attempts a game. And he's hitting 18. I mean, he's hitting 8 a game. Look, folks, this I keep trying to tell you, something ain't right with this NBA, man. Something ain't right. We talked about this before with Zion. All of a sudden, he's hurt every year after he came in and, lit it on fire as far as popularity. He was I'm talking about, for real, I think a lot of people was sick of LeBron James at that point. And they wanted a new star. And to me, you can call me whatever you want to call me, a conspiracy theorist, whatever. I'm cool with it. But they stopped this man from playing. They basically stopped this man from playing. Every time you see him do play, you don't see much hobbling. He's up and dunking, doing all this stuff. They don't want this man to play. They don't want him to play. And they'll pay him for not playing because they don't want to take no shine away from, or they didn't. It's over now with him. They even signed him to the Jordan brand to make him happy. Just don't get good. And to me, looks like it's the same thing with Wemby. None of this makes any sense, guys. This guy could go down to the post at 7'4" in this soft era where Joker ain't shooting half of his shots on three. Anthony Davis ain't doing it. Joel Embiid ain't doing it. So why is Wemby doing it? Because we know Wemby could go down there, like I said, turn around in the paint and just dunk on guys. It would be that easy. Nobody could stop him. No, I wouldn't even say that. I still want him to do half of his shots from the three. But I was just saying, if you gave him, what would that be? 22 attempts a game. What would he need? About five more a game, right? 5 more attempts a game. Okay, what's wrong with that? And other than 22 touches or attempts, maybe he attempts 3 threes. That's it. That's it. There's guys on his team getting more rebounds than him. In a 50-point game, this guy, This guy literally has 6 rebounds. When you're 7, if LeBron is getting more rebounds than you, something is wrong. LeBron is getting 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rebounds flat-footed on the defensive end. Flat-footed. So what does that mean? It means you too could do it flat-footed and don't even have to lift off the ground just to get 12 rebounds again. Look, there's no excuse for this guy to be averaging 10 rebounds a game. That's weak. That's weak for a 7-footer, 7-4 guy. Even for a 7-footer, really, in his prime, an all-time great rebounder in his prime. Each 10 rebounds that's something a power forward will be getting, not an all-time great center, right? Maybe if you're out of your prime, okay, that's fine, and you could even get 9. But I'm not impressed what Wemby did. Now, if he does it consistently, let's go, man. I mean, I keep trying to. I need this guy to come in there and dominate. They play the Lakers tomorrow. Come in there and dominate. When Michael Jordan came into Madison Square Garden, when he played Magic in the Lakers when he was young, when he played Boston, he showed he was a great player. All-time great. Who cares if you win? These are the times. You go out there and you embarrass the Queen. Dunk all over Anthony Davis. You should have been doing this in the Olympics. Look what you guys need to beat me. And you was crying when they lost the gold. Okay. Well, I mean, what did you do, though? Did you put up 30 and grab 15 rebounds to show that you should be crying? No, you didn't. You didn't do that, man. I mean, these guys, you need to go out there and put on all-time great performances as an all-time great player. This is what's going on. And like I said, go out there and dunk on LeBron's head, dunk on AD's head, and show these dudes. Hell, their team don't even play up to their ability. So, I mean, go out there and beat them. Be the reason why you won. Be like, yeah, I dropped 50, 12, and got me 5 blocks. Who should be getting MVP now? And maybe you won't do it all season, but do it that game. That's what I'm saying. We don't come from a generation who care about stats. And I know I just talked about stats, but we come from a generation where you did the big time players did big time things in big time games, buddy. That's pretty much how that worked. And that's why Vince Carter, he could have been the top 15 of all time. Where does anybody put Vince Carter? Vince Carter didn't even make the top 75. So there's Vince Carter while you're watching this guy do dunks. Nobody cares. LeBron can't even damn dunk. And look where he is. But yeah, man, get out there and put it down. Nobody's stupid. If you want to put up stats for these little kids, that's fine. But we talk about putting up stats in big games at big times against great opponents. That's when it counts. This is what I want from Wemby. And I'm mad because I put so much stock in this guy. I'm like, man, this guy, Pop was holding him back next year. This guy going to come into the season and dominate from the beginning. There's no reason he couldn't. He's already been in the NBA, played these fools in the Olympics. What are we talking about? Don't tell me about second year. Shut up. Name all these guys that had second year blues and all this stuff that you're talking about. It's ridiculous. So that's all I'm going to say about Wemby, man. This guy's been a big disappointment. Good for him that he got this big 50-point game. And guy need to be averaging 30. If he can't do more in this run and gun, weak soft era, I'm not impressed. Get your averages up, get in the damn paint, and do what you got to do. Tell me what you think.